What's up, everybody? Well, I got another unboxing video for you guys today, and today we're gonna unbox the Steam controller. I've been excited to get my hands on this. Annoyingly though, I was within less than a minute, I had my order in when it came out. But then everyone else that ordered later seemed to get theirs before me, so I'm like, I wonder how that actually works. It must not be a first order, first come and serve basis. It's just a random. Maybe it's where you live, although I'm literally right above it. Mine came from Indiana, although I'm sure there's different hubs they come from. It's not like they're gonna ship all the way across the entire world all from the hub of Indiana, you know? That doesn't make any sense. Either way, I'm excited to get this thing unboxed, so let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing. So as usual, we'll have a quick look around at the packaging before we break into it. It's pretty basic though, shows you a picture of what your product's gonna look like, says its name, at your fingertips, and I'm assuming that just says the same thing in French, but since I can't speak French, I have no idea. Your games, Steam controller, and then on the back you've got all of the contents, like game controller, wireless adapter, USB cable, that's all you get. But that's nice, at least you get a cable and everything. You get your serial number and all that good stuff here, assembled in China, and then at the very bottom, you've got what the contents look like. You got your little USB-C cable, you got your puck that just magnetically connects when you're ready. But yeah, seems like it's going to be a pretty awesome experience. So, now that we've had our look around the packaging, now we can actually get to the real unboxing. Now we can begin with the actual unboxing, and it looks like I don't even need a cool knife or anything this time. We just have to go like that, and I think that's that. So, let's see what this thing looks like in the flesh. Well, I very much like the presentation, that's for sure. It tells you exactly what to do with it and everything. Your USB cable, it tells you, is underneath all of that stuff. That's interesting though, it's actually a little dusty. Must be from the quality control or whatever. But from initial impressions in hand, it feels very comfortable. I was kind of worried about these being here, but I don't know. To my hands, that's pretty nice. I can reach almost everything. Those things I have to shift it up a little bit to get to. But anyway, we're not supposed to be doing that right now anyway. We can take a quick look around. It does have those whole things like that cheaper controller. It actually feels very similar to that $50 controller that I got. Anyway, let's set him off to the side real quick and have a look at everything else we get. Here's our little magnetic puck. I mean, they tried to give it some rubber on the bottom, but I can already probably tell you it's gonna be going all over the place on my table. Unless I attach it to the table with one of those little C-clamp thingies that I put underneath my tables for cable management. I bet if I put one of those right on the edge of my table where you can't really see it, and then just connected the very base of the USB cable to that, it probably wouldn't move at all. But I don't know, I'd have to test around with it. Anyway, let's see what else we got, because they said our cable and stuff's under here, along with a couple more things. Come on, give me all the paperwork. I know it's boring, but you still have to give them to me. All right, and that's that for the box. I like Steam's presentation, very good. We'll just take a quick look at everything else we get. Here's the controller puck. It basically tells you what it is, how to use it. It's pretty self-explanatory, to the point where I don't think I would need instructions, but hey, I am not everybody, and everyone's not me. And then you got your health and safety and maintenance and all that stuff. This thing's extraordinarily repairable, so that's awesome. I think they partnered with iFixit again, like they did with the Steam Decks. And then you get your cord. I mean, it's nothing special, it's not braided or anything, but it doesn't feel like insanely cheap either. It just kind of is a cord, you know? It is. But now that we've had a look at all that, why don't we get a computer turned on and go and play around with this thing? So, I don't know if it's necessary or not, but I just have Steam up and open in the background. I don't think that's necessary, but we're gonna plug the puck in. It makes a little ding-ding noise, and then ding-ding back off. So now, let's try dropping our Steam controller on it. That's fucking awesome, I like that. Just get it close. You can just kind of just be like, oh, I'm done. Just slide your controller to it and it'll just flop right onto it. That's so cool. All right, and then I think all they said was hit the Steam button. There we go. And now, it has done something on screen. So before I continue with that, I'm gonna switch over to some screen recorded. Well, I was so excited to get playing on this thing, I completely forgot we didn't even take a closer look at it or compare it to any other controllers or nothing. So I figured, well, I'm downloading all the games we're gonna test with this thing. Might as well go over it and compare it to some other controllers I have lying around. Because I definitely have a few, as you can see. Yeah. But, with that said, let's go ahead and start with the actual star of the show, the Steam controller. So, let's have a quick look over, and then after done with that, we'll get like a sound test of all the buttons and everything. But yeah, it kind of feels like holding the Steam Deck, so it doesn't feel super premium, but it doesn't feel super cheap either. It just kind of feels like it is. Now, much like that GMK controller I got, it's got these But luckily for me on that controller, they don't go where my fingers go, so they're a nothing burger for me, but I could see how that might dig into people. We got our little buttons on the back here. Pretty nice. I got it with the puck charging it and stuff. The triggers and thumbsticks and stuff, and then you've even got another USB-C so you can charge it normally too. That's how we updated its firmware. So buttons feel nice. Then you got your triggers, pretty nice. You got your actual button, your thumbsticks. And the cool thing is, this is actually moving on my desktop right now. So that's pretty awesome. You can actually use it as an actual mouse too, for those times where things are getting kind of lame. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you've got your another little button down there. I actually don't know what that one does. We'll have to press that when we're in big picture mode later and see what it does. But yeah, now that we're done with that, why don't we do a quick button test on the thing? And then we'll of course compare it to all those other controllers too. Alright, had to move into the kitchen. My Alienware is way too loud to do a button test next to it. All you guys would probably hear is it whirling its fan while downloading. So, I'm going to shut up and we're just going to start hitting buttons. Alright, it seems to be quite quiet, to be honest with you, but that's okay. So now, let's compare it to some of the other controllers. Just for fun, I thought we'd bring out the old school PS3 6-axis 3. Or no, I think it's just DualShock 3. But it does have 6-axis, so it does have gyro and stuff, which I thought was pretty neat. Not too many games I played took advantage of it, but regardless, I'm going to shut up, let's hit some buttons. And alright, this was just a silly little test. I saw it sitting over there and I was like, man, I haven't picked you up in years. Let's at least include you so you won't be lonesome. So, now it would be a little more serious. Here's a PS5 controller. I'm going to shut up and do the same. And alright, now we'll move on to the next controller. Here's another just for fun. We'll try out that Strada controller. And alright, another one that's just kind of for fun. I almost never use this thing, but I mean, it kind of feels like it's like a $10, $15, $20 controller. It's not the worst thing in the universe, but it's definitely nothing to write home about either. Now for the SCUF Instinct controller that I've fully customized, I think this is to date still the most expensive controller I have at $311 shipped. And all that without Hall effect sticks or anything special like that. Man. But anyway. And that's pretty much that. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's kind of like a normal Xbox controller with some back paddles. They didn't really do too much else special with it. You pretty much only pay for the cool customization on this one. But I don't know what they've got now. This thing's kind of old at this point. I'm sure they've got some new versions out there. Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra. Let's see what it sounds like. And alright, it's not a terrible controller, but it kind of feels cheap, and it has horrible battery life. But I extraordinarily loved this D-pad. It was one of my favorite D-pads. But regardless, let us move on along. Here's the Razer Wolverine 3 Tournament Edition. Same thing, we'll just shut up and see what it sounds like. Alright, I like this controller a lot. Before I got that $50 controller, I was using this for a lot of the tests I do on games and stuff, on all the other various systems, so it got quite a bit of use. Doesn't have the best battery life though, but it's still better than a lot of the controllers. Either way, time to move on. So, here's the Easy SMX X20, a $50 new controller I've been using. Very, very good controller for what it costs. But anyway, let's see what it sounds like. Almost forgot about the back buttons there. But this thing is absolutely baller for 50 bucks. Its only issue is it too doesn't have the greatest battery life. Better than the Stealth Ultra? I'd say similar to the Wolverine. Maybe the Wolverine wins by a little bit because I haven't figured out a way to turn off the RGB. If you could turn off the RGB, it'd probably get lots better. But since it doesn't have software, I can't really figure out how to do it. Anyway, on to the next controller. Now for my second favorite controller. This is a Flydigi Apex 4 Black Myth Wukong edition, and man is it awesome. But anyway, let's see how it sounds. And this one doesn't have sliders to make clicky thingies. You'd have to do that in software where you can literally just be like, that shoots kind of shit. So some people don't like that. But I really like this D-pad too. I can't decide which one I like better between this or that Stealth Ultra. But I like both of them quite a bit. Either way, let's move on to the last controller we're going to take a look at. My favorite controller currently. So now for my favorite controller, the Flydigi Apex 5. And let's see how she sounds. And then there's two other things you can attach there, but I'm just not using them right now. But pretty damn badass controller. But who knows? Maybe the Steam controller will be my favorite controller once I use it for a little bit. We shall see. But alright, I'm sure the games are done downloading now, so I'm going to go and test those now.
Alright, so here's what happens when you connect to your Steam controller and turn it on. It wants you to do firmware updates and whatnot, so I figured we'd just do that real quick. It's not like it takes very long on a controller, so we'll just do the whole process from start to finish, no cuts. Obviously, it takes a little while, so I'll try to sit here and talk and not just have it be empty silence, because nobody likes empty silence. At least I don't in videos. That's why I try to cut most of it out when I'm doing one of these videos. But since I said no cuts, I'm not going to do that this time, so I don't want it to be too silent. And then I believe after this, it asks me to connect it to the controller. So there we go. Just disconnect it from the puck. Plop it. You don't even have to disconnect the puck. You can leave it magnetically connected to your controller and just plop it out of the one, plop it into the other one. It'll make a little USB noise. You'll know it's working. And then it'll start automatically updating that too. And then after that, it'll prompt you to go, hey, now you can plug it back into the little puck. and everything will be all good. But like I said, see, neither one of the firmware updates takes that awful long. About the same amount of time on any of the other firmware updates I've did on everything else. See, here we go. Now we can plug the puck back in. And I think I have to hit the home button again. Maybe I don't. But if it doesn't work, hit the Steam button again. Should work after that. But sure looked like it was still on and connected. So I don't think you have to do that. So there we go. Controller connected. Now we can hit next. Steam button. Press the Steam button to turn it on, which is important. And then if you hit it, it'll go into big picture mode. So why don't we go ahead and give that thing a press. We'll close that. And there we go. Big picture mode. And now it's also going to tell you, hey, we've detected that. And it wants to tell you a couple things. Nothing wrong with that. It's trying to be thorough here. So we've already pretty much went over this earlier, so we know. So we can go ahead and close that. And there we are. So why the heck not? Why don't we go ahead and quickly look at the controller settings? It's nice. You can actually hit the Steam button and it brings up that menu instead of the Windows stuff. So here's the controller menu. You got your details right here. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, you can name it, ping it. You can enable rumble and all that. It tells you its signal strength. Nice. And that's where you can also mess with those back buttons, it seems. And then the puck details, you can just add more, I guess, and you can forget it for whatever reason if it messes up and needs it. I doubt that'll be a thing much. Oh, nice. You can go up to 120 minutes. I wouldn't want to kill my thing that much. I'll just leave it on the default. And you can have some options there. You can install extended feature support, so that probably makes it so you can use it maybe outside of the thing. I don't think so. It's probably for something else to do with Steam. But all right, that's pretty much that. Now we can go ahead and get some games and try it out in just a bunch of different random games. So let's hop to it. Well, this is lame. I wanted to do it all professional and like do screen recorded gameplay, but this game didn't want to cooperate. So instead of having one be screen and then another one be camera and then another one be screen, I figured, screw it, we'll just do it all camera. You can't mess that up. So let's play a little bit. What's that shining over there? Alright. Seemed great for this kind of game. Figured I'd start off easy and work my way up. But alright, let's move on to the next one. So for the next game I picked just a fun little game. Another Crab's Treasure. Of course it won't be. It never is.
Anyway, seems to be great for this kind of game too. So, let's move on to the next game. So, now I figure we go and do like a platformer. Shit, forgot what fucking attack was. That's water, alright. I can make water.
Stop right. I knew what you are. That ghastly air about you. You reek of sorcery, Shardbinder.
Uh-oh.
I am your executioner.
Yep. Probably. I remember back then I got absolutely dominated by this guy before. Wow, yeah. Absolutely decimated me. But that's not the controller's fault. Oh shit. Anyway, I think that's more than good. On to the next one. Alright, next game. For a first person shooter, I just picked Borderlands 2. Nowhere else to go that way. Oh shoot, I wanted to actually shoot at some stuff. But it's been a while since I played and I have no idea where the heck I even am. Wish I could just pull up a map and fast travel somewhere real quick, but feels really nice with the thumbsticks. You'd have to probably move this. This feels good for like the trackpads feel alright for like precise aiming. But if I had to make a fast movement, I'd want to use the thumbstick. But you could always mess with that in settings. And you could also do gyro aiming too if you wanted. It does have that. Well, that's lame. I wanted to shoot at some stuff, so that's going to be kind of lame part, but it is what it is. It definitely feels like it would be more than adequate if I was someone who would play these games with a controller, but I'd usually play these with a keyboard and mouse. Unless I'm making a video for you guys. So here's a little Arc Raiders. Yeah, these thumbsticks are nice. I don't really mind the placement at all. I was worried I wasn't going to hate it, but since they're not since they needed to make room for the trackpads, they're not as far down as the PlayStation 4 and 5's controller ones are. I mean, even the original PS3s were down there, but I never really liked that part that much. But these seem great. Everything seems to be in a good spot. It's very comfortable to hold. It's not too heavy. Although, I mean, if I can hold up freaking those giant-ass handhelds, because none of the normal controllers are going to be that heavy to me. I figured some people are curious about that kind of thing, so I figured I'd give my 2 cents. It's a shame I never really learned how to play this game well. I don't even know how to like craft guns or anything. I like skipped all the tutorials because I didn't want to bore you guys when I made the original videos. Ooh, I hear people are fighting. Look, there's a drone. Alright, time to
Go the other way. Where that thing spots me.
Well, alright. I think with that, we'll move on to the last game. Well, alright, let's get some gameplay. Way too fast. I'm excited for 6. I'm so rusty. I haven't played a driving game forever. Tree. Alright, I think with that spin out, let's go wrap the video on up. Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for this video. Sorry it wasn't probably the best unboxing video in the world, but at least I tried to add some extra instead of just unboxing. We took a look at the setup process, we used it in some games real quick, and it sure is a damn fine controller. I think I'm definitely gonna like that. I don't know if I'm gonna like it more than my Flydigis, but hey, time will tell. Either way, that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And I still can't do a peace out with my right hand yet, but every single day, that pinky is being able to bend more. But I get to that page, or that stage right there, and it's just, there's like something blocking it. I think it's the actual joint. So hopefully it's fixable. If not, hey, at least I can use a mouse, play my games and whatnot. So if it never is able to do what this one can do ever again, oh well. So, we'll leave you with a left-handed peace out, and until the next video.